Most people fail not because they're lazy, but because their mindset is broken in ways nobody talks about. 30 days ago, I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't stuck because I lacked ideas, skills, or motivation. I was stuck because of how I thought every single day. So I ran a 30-day mindset experiment on myself. No shortcuts, no motivation quotes, just discipline. What happened surprised me, and some of it honestly made me uncomfortable. That's what this video is about. If you're an entrepreneur or trying to become one, you've probably felt this before. You wake up with big plans. Today is the day you'll focus. Today is the day you'll work on the thing that actually matters. And then life happens. You check your phone. You answer messages that don't matter. So you scroll just for 5 minutes. You tell yourself you'll start later. Later never comes. The worst part isn't that you didn't work. The worst part is the quiet guilt at the end of the day. That feeling that you're falling behind, even though you're busy all the time. That feeling that everyone else seems more disciplined, more focused, more in control. I used to think discipline was about willpower, about being strong, about forcing yourself to do hard things. But that idea actually kept me stuck for years. So I decided to test a different idea. For 30 days, I changed how I thought before I tried to change what I did. No hype, no crazy routines. Just a simple experiment to see if mindset really controls discipline, or if that's just another nice-sounding phrase people throw around. The rule of the experiment. First, I set one rule for the entire 30 days. No motivation allowed. That sounds strange, but hear me out. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel it, some days you don't. Entrepreneurs who rely on motivation are always waiting for the right mood. I didn't want that anymore. So instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? I asked, what does a disciplined person do in this moment? That question alone changed a lot. Week 1, the resistance phase. The first week was brutal, not because the tasks were hard, but because my mind fought back. Every time I sat down to work, my brain came up with excuses that sounded smart. You should plan more. You deserve a break. You'll do it better tomorrow. This isn't urgent. I realized something important during this week. My brain wasn't trying to help me succeed. It was trying to keep me comfortable. So I stopped arguing with it. Instead of fighting my thoughts, I treated them like noise. They were there, but they didn't decide my actions. That was uncomfortable. Sitting down to work while every part of you wants to do something else feels almost painful at first. But I noticed something strange. The pain faded faster than I expected. The 5-minute discipline trick. One mindset shift that saved me was this. I stopped committing to hours. I only committed to 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes of trying, 5 minutes of real work. Here's why this matters. Your brain panics when it sees a big task. Work for 3 hours feels heavy. 5 minutes feels harmless. Most days, 5 minutes turned into 30. 30 turned into an hour. But even on bad days, 5 minutes kept the habit alive. Discipline isn't about intensity, it's about not breaking the chain. Week 2, identity starts to change. In the second week, something subtle happened. I stopped saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. I started thinking, this is just what I do. That shift is huge. When you see discipline as something you do sometimes, it's optional. When you see it as who you are, it becomes automatic. I didn't feel more motivated. I didn't suddenly love working, but I trusted myself more. And trust is powerful. When you trust yourself, you stop making deals with yourself. You stop negotiating. You don't ask, should I work today? You already know the answer. Removing false rewards. Another big change during this experiment was removing fake rewards. I used to reward myself before the work was done. Coffee, videos, scrolling, snacks. I told myself it helped me focus. It didn't. So I flipped it. Work first, reward later. No work, no reward. At first this felt harsh, but then I realized something important. Rewards only feel good when they're earned. Otherwise, they're just distractions. Week 3, clarity beats motivation. Week 3 was when everything felt clearer. I wasn't working more hours. I was working fewer hours, but with less mental friction. Why? Because I stopped overthinking. Most people don't lack discipline. They lack clarity. They sit down to work and don't know what to do first. That creates stress. Stress creates avoidance. So every night I wrote down one main task for the next day. Just one. Not 10, not a long list. One task that actually moved things forward. When I woke up, I didn't have to think. I just started. Thinking drains energy. Clear decisions save it. The boring days test. Here's something nobody talks about. Discipline isn't tested on hard days. It's tested on boring days. Days where nothing exciting happens. No big wins, no praise, no feedback. During this experiment, I had days where everything felt pointless. That's where most people quit. So I added a new rule. Boring days still count. Even if progress was slow, even if it felt useless, showing up mattered more than feeling good. That mindset alone helped me push through days that would have stopped me before. Week 4. Confidence without hype. By week 4, I noticed a quiet confidence. Not loud confidence. Not I can do anything confidence. More like I'll do what I said I would. That's real confidence. It doesn't come from positive thinking. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. I didn't suddenly become a different person. I just stopped lying to myself about what I'd do later. Later is where discipline goes to die. The biggest moment of this entire experiment happened on a random day near the end. I had zero energy, bad sleep, bad mood, no motivation at all. Old me would have skipped the day and said, I'll make up for it tomorrow. Instead, I sat down and did the smallest version of the task. Not perfect, not impressive, just done. And that's when it hit me. Discipline isn't about doing more. It's about lowering the bar so low that excuses can't survive. That one realization changed how I see work, habits, and progress forever. Most people quit because their standards are too high on bad days. Disciplined people adjust the standard, not the habit. So what did these 30 days actually change? First, I stopped waiting to feel ready. Second, I stopped trusting my emotions to make decisions. Third, I learned that discipline is a mindset before it's a behavior. If you're an entrepreneur, this matters more than any tool, strategy, or system. Because without discipline, everything else falls apart. You don't need more motivation. You don't need better mornings. You don't need a new planner. You need to stop making discipline emotional. Make it boring. Make it simple. Make it non-negotiable. That's how real progress starts. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe.